So let's kick it off, and you've got the stage, Brooke.
Bill.
That legislative statement is published under the authority of the House and can be found on the parliamentary website. The Honourable Brooke van Veldon.
I move that the online casino gambling bill be now read a first time. I nominate the Governance and Administration Committee to consider the bill. At the appropriate time, I intend to move that the bill be reported to the House by 17 November 2025. Mr. Speaker, I'm pleased to be here today to present the online casino gambling bill. Mr. Speaker, this bill is about ensuring that New Zealanders who wish to play on online casinos can do so on regulated websites in a safer market where operators follow our requirements for harm minimisation and consumer protection and contribute financially to New Zealand. This bill will allow for up to 15 vetted and licensed operators to conduct and advertise their online casino platform in New Zealand while prohibiting unlicensed online casinos from operating in New Zealand. Mr. Speaker, online casino gambling has been around for a long time in New Zealand. Every day, Kiwis are gambling on offshore websites with thousands of options available at the click of a button. Data from the Ministry of Health shows that 156,000 New Zealand adults have participated in online overseas gambling in the past year, and this number is likely increasing. Unlike physical casinos in New Zealand, these online operators do not need to meet harm prevention and minimisation standards. They don't even need to check if the people playing are of age. They also don't have any consumer protection regulations, so someone gambling on these websites might be unable to withdraw their winnings or money that they've deposited. These online casinos are also not currently contributing to the cost of providing support services for gambling harm in New Zealand. This bill will require all online casino operators licensed in New Zealand to contribute 1.24% of their profits to the problem gambling levy, which is used to fund services to reduce gambling harm. Mr. Speaker, this bill will establish a licensing process to enable the Secretary of Internal Affairs to grant up to 15 licences to allow operators to conduct online casino gambling. Companies that do not receive a licence will not be allowed to operate or advertise in New Zealand and could face penalties for doing so. Allocating up to 15 licences will provide consumers who wish to gamble with sufficient variety and choice while maintaining a competitive market. This is important in order to facilitate channeling consumers to the regulated market and away from any illegal operators. It will also minimise the regulatory burden of the scheme and ensure that the Department of Internal Affairs as the regulator is well positioned to enforce the system and take action against any black market operators. The bill does allow licensed operators to advertise, with limitations including not advertising to children. This is again part of channeling customers towards safer regulated operators and away from illegal ones. Detailed rules about the form, content, timing, location and volume of advertisements, as well as the use of third-party endorsements, will be set out in the regulations. This follows a very similar process and practice to the Gambling Act 2003, where the specific rules are set out in regulations rather than legislation, so they are easy to update as technology changes. One of the biggest harm prevention changes that this bill will introduce is to require online gambling operators to verify that all of their players are aged 18 and over to stop children from accessing these sites. Operators will need to use a suitable age verification tool before customers can play on those websites. Both Lotto and the TAB currently use online age verification systems effectively, as well as many other gambling companies around the world. While adults may choose to gamble, and we want them to be able to do so safely, I've been very clear that I do not want children gambling. Operators will also be required to exclude problem gamblers, whether the player identifies themselves as having a problem or the operator identifies them as problem gamblers. The detailed requirements for this will be set out in the regulations. Preventing gambling harm is the primary purpose of this bill. However, it is also important that online gambling companies offering services to New Zealanders pay their fair share of tax. Licensed operators will be required to pay GST and the offshore gambling duty of 12%, which goes to the Crown to fund core services. This is in addition to the 1.24% of profits which must be paid to the problem gambling levy to fund support services for gambling harm in New Zealand. The Department of Internal Affairs will enforce the new regulatory system, armed with a suite of penalties from formal warnings up to licence cancellations for any operators that do not follow the rules. The Department will be able to request information from companies, investigate potential breaches and take action where appropriate. Fines of up to $5 million can be applied for breaches of the rules. I'm confident that the Department will be able to carry out this role as it is already the regulator for physical gambling in New Zealand, such as with the casinos and pokies. The costs of setting up and running the regulatory team will be fully cost recovered from fees from the licensed operators. The Department will also have strong relationships with similar regulators overseas to help take action against any offshore companies that breach our laws. New Zealand is one of the last OECD countries to regulate online gambling. This gives us an advantage in that we can learn from other jurisdictions about how to appropriately and safely regulate our market. I'm proud to introduce this bill to take action on regulating online casinos. I know that many New Zealanders are interested in this bill and will want to have a say on the proposals, and I hope that everyone who wants to have input will submit during the Select Committee process. In conclusion, this bill will ensure that New Zealand has controls in place to keep Kiwis safe if they want to participate in online casino gambling. I commend this bill to the House.
Before I call the member, can I...
Well, before we get to that, we might have to have Stacey jump in, but do you think we should get one of these 15 online gambling options with the redistributions that have to go to the community on it to go to It's in the Ballot Productions and other left-wing style media outlets to boost the left-wing eco-media perspective?
Stacey, would you like to respond to that question?
No, not me, just sitting in the background fucking giggling away.
I have no experience whatsoever with gambling.
No, neither do I. All I know is that with gambling, 20% of the takings attract a thing called, gambling duty. And it also, on top of that, pays 15% in GST. So when you put money into the poker machines, you're sitting there also paying GST as well as gambling tax levy.
Yeah. Like, I reckon it should be non-biased, though. Like, it should just be... No, actually, it should be more like what Lotto does and put back into the communities.
Yeah, I mean, I like, yes, that would be good. It'd be good if it was, I don't know, community-owned gambling or whatever, but I'm not an advocate for gambling of any means, but that would be better than privately owned gambling companies. But
like Sky City.
Yeah.
But there are issues with this bill, because I actually read through it, and I also ran it through AI as well, because I'm lazy like that, to see what problems it could also identify, and there's a number of problems with it. So by restricting the amount of operators that can be licensed, it risks creating a oligopoly. So that's kind of like a monopoly, but it's kind of like it's like when you have like a group of people that are on top and control the entire industry. Yes. And so that's the first issue I have with this bill. And then I went through it and I saw Clause 38. It's very vague. It may permit operators to use weak verification methods, so self-ID, rather than robust ID checks to verify age. It fails to define what online casino gambling is. So I don't know how many of you in the chat, or you, Stacey, if you're a gamer, but loot boxes.
Yeah.
Loot
boxes are absolutely just like gambling.
Yeah, they're not defined as gambling in New Zealand.
What's a loot box?
But they are in other countries, so that's interesting.
Yep. Yes. So a loot box is basically a item that you can purchase, right? And it's randomized what you get, right? And those loot boxes, yeah, those they're like treasure boxes and whatever. You can get like a skin for your character, or you can get a cool looking gun or a rare piece of armor or whatever, right? But it's randomized, and it's often randomized in favor of the company, right? So it's designed in a way that you get lots of low value items, but it keeps you wanting to pay more and more and more until you get the item you want. And this is a real problem, especially with young people, because they don't, here in New Zealand, they don't have to necessarily put a warning or an age verification system in place in a lot of those games. Like you got EA Soccer or EA Football or whatever. That was a real issue a few years back in Europe, where they literally had kids spending thousands of dollars on fucking loot boxes trying to get, and I can swear now because we're past the 10-minute mark, getting loot boxes, right, to get the cards that they want, and just spending thousands of dollars, and EA is like, oh, we don't have to pay back.
And like even if it's an international company that's allowing online gambling in New Zealand, they should have to put that profit back into the country that it comes from.
Well, it should be subjected to the 20% gambling duty. You know, that's at least a minimum. And like that's with poker machines. That is before you have distributions put into the community. That 20% GST comes out.
Yeah. Like how many of you guys play mobile games? And you get loot boxes.
I do Goblin Mines. Stacey knows that. I'm only 16th in the world on the current campaign, which is quite unusual for me because I'm usually in the top 10. But I'm
like 200 and something on the current event.
Do you get offered treasure boxes or any bonus boxes that you can open and you can buy more of to get more stuff?
Yeah. Okay. I'm currently sorting out. Oh, nobody can see that. Hold on. Oh, that's not even going to help. Oh, there we go. See, I'm currently sorting out my Monopoly Go.
Yep.
That's my goblin mines.
They offer for you to pay real money for Monopoly dice to keep rolling. So no, like I refuse. I will not spend real money on a mobile game. Like they are there to kill time, and that is it.
But this bill doesn't touch any of that. So there's plenty of ways that companies can get around this legislation, and that's a big weakness in this legislation. Is that they haven't really defined what online casinos are.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Here's something that Mr. Alex has sat there and spent on there.
Oh,
and I think the audience, if you put wow emojis in the chat, please put wow emojis in the chat just to emphasize it. But that like 50 grand, like I don't even like. I mean, I know what my coffee cart brings in per year, and I can tell you right now, I couldn't sift out 50 grand.
No way.
There's another video game. It's made by Blizzard. What's it called again? It's like a dungeon crawler.
Oh, not World of Warcraft.
Diablo 4.
Diablo. Yeah. People spend like hundreds. You know, I think I read one account where someone spent like $100,000 trying to like get all the rare skins and everything. It's crazy.
Jeez.
And this was a New Zealander too. I'll see if I can get that newspaper link.
Well.
Yeah. So here's the emojis coming up. Gee, I love it how we can sit there and say something and people sit there and like, you know, come and like, you know, join in the community on it. So while you're trying to find the newspaper link, let's hear from Guma Lydias, was it Soansini?
Oh, before you move on, I can give you the number that was spent by the Kiwi gamer. It was $16,000 New Zealand on loot boxes.
Ooh.
That was a New Zealand Twitch streamer.
No way.
Like
wow.
Okay.